What up? Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. I hope everyone is doing well, doing great. Hope that through your challenges that you are able to push through and make it happen, make it work. Challenges are going to come, opposition is going to come. That's the normal part of the progression of life. There's no being on this planet that does not receive some sort of opposition in order to achieve its goal. You're not going to escape that. That's just the way it is. So if you are in the mindset that you want more, you want to do better, you want to do great, you want to leave a legacy of wealth and prosperity for your family, you're going to deal with some things. You're going to experience some things. You are going to do exactly what Christ did. He said, as I suffer, so will you. You will suffer. See, the church had that all figured out. You'll suffer, weeping and crying. Oh, God, do this for me. Getting on your knees, putting your head in the ground, and God is going to miraculously fix things for you just by that act alone. This was why when people pray for things, it never comes to pass, because in order to receive anything, any type of benefit that you want, you have to do something. And on your knees, praying to some God mysteriously in the sky is not going to get it done. What you have to do is you have to have prayer, faith, all of that connected. You have to work towards that. You have to deal with some things. See, people pray, God, remove this pain from me, remove this problem from me. No, that's not God's job, because he set out your job, how you're supposed to handle things in the beginning. He's supposed to have dominion over all things. The very thing that you're dealing with is because you got to work through it. You got to put in the work. There's no escaping that. And if you think you're not going to be able to, you think you could remove something or someone out of your life and think you're not going to deal with that thing again? Or that person again? Oh, no, you will see them again in a different face, in a different avatar, a different body. See, your goal, your challenge is to master the situation and be at peace even in that situation. See, the world, the news, the so-called gurus of relationships and all of these other things are telling you, oh, you don't have to do all that. Go find peace somewhere else. Yeah, people are trying that and they still don't find the peace they're looking for, because they haven't. See, they think they can change their life by changing scenery outside of them. The only way you change the life or change anything is change the scenery in your mind. Change the ideas in your mind. Change the negative, the judgments, change all of that. That's how you change. I have never been successful trying to change things or people. I've only been successful when I changed me. And once I changed me and changed my mindset, I started to see people and things and situations differently. I accepted them as they are. I'm not saying stay in some type of abusive situation. No, I'm saying if you really want to master anything, you have to stand right in the middle of it and change you. Change who you are. I'm almost into my lesson today. I'm on my first, before I get into the lesson, let me make some announcements. This Thursday, 2 days from now, April the 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be doing a webinar on getting rid of and eliminating these student loans. A lot of good news have come. It's funny. I decided to do this webinar and I didn't know that this article was coming out about the $6 billion loan elimination that they got to come up with, that the Supreme Court is allowing to go through. I didn't know that. See, that's what happens when you move according to inspiration and to the idea. You do not have to see the whole thing worked out. It will work itself as you step into it and work it. I a few months ago, I think it was February, I bought a truck for the company. Well, we bought a truck for the company. I don't want to give myself all the credit. We bought a truck for the company. And we had that truck a week and a half and it started giving us problems. And it's sitting at the Freightliner dealership right now. It needs a whole new engine. Now, of course, I'm getting taken care of for that, but in that, I didn't know what to do or how to fix this. We just got this truck, spent a lot of money on it, and I just said, I'm just moving faith. I'm not going to argue with these people and just let it happen. And then the load we was holding when the truck broke down, a truck came to pick it up and it had a number on it. And there was my answer. Right now, at this moment, my son is driving a brand, I thought it was a 2023. It's an actual 2024 Hino. 26-foot box truck with all the specifications that we need. Brand new. Off the dealer lot. Within, I think, 3 weeks. It took me 3 weeks to get this together. And then I talked to the guy. I said, listen, we're going to do more business together. I want 10 by the end of the year. See, I'm trying to reach. I got a number I'm going to reach. And I'm not saying it because the whole reason why I'm doing this lesson is because the Christ story is your story. You're going to see Christ came into the world to show you how you could do all of these great things. And there's going to be opposition no matter what you do, how many people you heal, how many people you help, how many people you give money to. They're going to be ungrateful and they're going to come against you. But you have to remain in the Christ consciousness in order to hold on, to receive the bigger reward. I went. Truck was sitting in the shop. No money. No money coming in at all. But expenses was coming in. The expenses didn't stop. Truck payment, insurance, whatever other gas bill, all that. But no money coming in. But guess what? They all got paid. Easily got paid. The most difficult thing that I had to deal with was my mind and remaining calm and then not allowing those astronomical bills to move me off my path. They got taken care of. Didn't know. Okay. I had the money to pay it, but I want to make money and not just. I said, this is the test to see how serious I want this prosperity, how serious I want this business to be. We're almost 2 years into this business. And I already foresee that this is going to be a multinational, multi-million-dollar business employing thousands of employees. That's the end goal. All the stuff in between, I'm not sure about how that's going to happen, but I know that's going to happen. And that's how you got to see your business. You got to see the end. What does you want to happen with this? You have to see the end, and you got to put in the work. And the biggest work is the mindset. The money, the actual money to pay for it is just the byproduct of the mindset. It's just the extra. It's the, what do you call, the symptom, the tool of the mindset. Yeah, I was, hey, you got to go and tap into some reserves. And I'm like, thankfully, I got almost to the reserves and boom, nope, you ain't got to touch that reserve. Here you go. Gotta admit, I went on vacation during this storm. I took a break, and had a great time. See, this walk is not complicated. It's just riddled with roadblocks and obstacles that you have to recognize they're all illusions. getting you to pay attention to it so that you don't focus on your end game and you can focus on that. And I was talking to someone today who's having major difficulties. I mean, major difficulties. And I was glad to hear they said, these are just distractions. I'm trying to make big things happen. And these are really distractions. I didn't even have to say it. I'm learning now that I'm teaching by example. I don't have to explain much. They'll figure it out if you just stay in the presence and just listen. And they got to go through their storm. And they got to weather it. And sometimes going through a storm, you have to go into solitude. And you got to block out all of anybody, everybody saying anything, talking to you. And that's the one thing people try to avoid. They try to avoid the work of being in solitude. Christ, before he went to his very trial, he went off and prayed by himself. Yeah, his disciples was there watching, supposed to stand watch, but they went off to sleep. But he went off to build himself up, to prepare himself for what was to come. See, what's about to come for you is wealth, prosperity, peace, everything good, but you got to prepare yourself for that by going into solitude, shutting things down, turning things off, TV, all that stuff. You got to you go in, go within. So the Christ story is your story, and I'm going to prove that to you, that you're the Christ, you're the one you're looking for, you are the Messiah in your life. I'm going to prove that to you. Because when I read this story, it's going to parallel your life. It's going to parallel that. It's going to look just like what you're going through right now. See, I know churches talking about you going through something, your day is coming, and they leave you with that. They say, your day is coming. Okay, how do I get to my day? How? How do I get to the day? They preach that and then leave it and shut it down after 45 minutes and leave you just with that statement. Your day is coming. Just wait. Nothing else. Utter nonsense. Because there is a recipe. There is a process to get to your day. And let me tell you something. Your day is now. There is no such thing as tomorrow and yesterday. Those are all figments of your imaginations, things you have ideas about. You have an idea about what you want to happen tomorrow. You have a remembrance of what happened yesterday. That's it. They're figments of your imagination. All you have is this moment. Everything right now is happening all at once, all around the world, all around the universe, everywhere happening right now. So what day is it? Now. What time is it? Now. Sit. It's all you got. That's all you will ever have is now. There's nothing else but now, this moment. So what are you going to do with this moment? What are you going to do with this time? I don't even want to use that word time. What are you going to take advantage of? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this and that. But whatever you this and that is it got to do with that prosperity you're looking for? Does it have anything to do with that? If not, you might want to think again or ask yourself, is what you really want? Is prosperity, wealth, leaving behind generation? And to all of you men, let me remind you something. You got a job. You have one job. And that job is to work your butt off, work your ass off so that you can leave a legacy, not only for your children, but for your grandchildren and their children. That's out. If every man understood that was his job, there will be no broke families out there. If every woman understood that is his job and she supported him in that, we wouldn't have poverty. But the issue is the men don't understand that that's their job. And the women think they got to do it all by themselves because they've been let down or disappointed in the past. They let one or two situations burn them and they off there struggling. For what? Why are y'all struggling? Women, y'all the most powerful beings on the planet, and y'all sitting and there's women out here struggling. How are you struggling with all that power? Huh? You have the power of just being a woman, just your feminine ways. The problem is a lot of women don't know what that means. If you understood that power, you would never go hungry. You would never worry about how to pay a bill, because a man will come into your life and we will make himself take care of you. That's how we build. If you don't have a man in your life and he's not trying to do that or want to do that for you, then either he's not equipped to do it, he don't understand it, or maybe you don't understand how to bring it out of him. We're supposed to work together. Now, let me get out of the relationship realm and move on to what I'm talking about. All right, let's do this. Let's share the screen. Let's go in on here. Let's go on this scripture here. Oh, you know what? I just went in, man. I just, I didn't do a show last week, and I just went in. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out. Somebody said, I tell my why the same spirit, different man. So I'm not sure what that there is. See King Bay, peace everyone. That's right. It's electrifying. Let's go here. Let's open that up. Lucky number 13. That's what it's showing on here. I know they said 13 was unlucky. That's not true. Because it's 12 disciples with Jesus, that makes 13. That's a righteous number. All right, there we go. All right, let's see where I shall start here. This is Matthew chapter 26, and we're going to go all the way down to where Jesus was arrested. I don't know. Maybe I should start here. So much I could do with this. Okay. I'll start here. I preached on this one before, but I'm going to start here. Gethsemane. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, sit here while I go over there and pray. He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here, keep watch with me. He said his soul was overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. So he brought two people to watch, two solid people to watch, because he felt his spirit being depressed. That's basically what he's saying. He was depressed. So what did he do? When he got troubled and sorry, what did he do? He brought in two reinforcements. Here, keep watch with me. Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, my Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. So he got down and he prayed. He said, if it's possible, take it away from me. Not as I will, but as you will. So what he's saying, if it's possible, I know this test I'm about to experience is going to be a big one. If it's possible, take it away. But he was willing to go through it if it was his Father's will. And from a esoterical standpoint, the higher consciousness. What is the higher consciousness will? Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? And he asked Peter, watch and pray so that you will not fall into the temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So while he was over there praying, getting himself hyped up, getting himself prepared to go through what he knew what he had to go through. Let's parallel this to what you're doing. What do you do when you're struggling or you're experiencing depression, when you're feeling blocked, what do you do to get out of that state? See, Christ brought reinforcement. Watch over me while I strengthen myself. Esoterically, I don't have time to go into the two that he brought to bring out who they were, but from a general point, there were two aspects of his consciousness that was going to strengthen him to keep watch, paying attention to his thoughts. See, it was another aspect of his mind. Watch my thinking. Watch what I'm saying. Watch my inner words. Because it was his inner words that was bringing him down, his inner thoughts. And he had to say, you know what? I need you guys to keep watch so I don't fall prey to my own negative thinking. What happens, when you get into a negative mindset, it's really easy to keep going with it if you don't put a check on it, if you don't remove yourself from the situation. It's really easy to keep it going. So you have to actually train yourself to keep watch. Because what'll happen, it'll lead, you'll be so overwhelmed, even to death, a spiritual death. And some people in this world even go as far as a physical death. He went away a second time and prayed, my Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. So your trial, you're going to have to drink it. You got to go through it. If you want to go to the other side, he was asking, if it's your will, yeah, is it still your will? There was that second guessing. Am I really supposed to do this? And then think about it. Let's go back to the beginning. What happened here? Let's go back. He took Peter, the two sons of Zebedee, along with him and began to be sorrowful and troubled. He took two reinforcements. He said, okay, I know what I'm thinking. I'm going to carry on with these two, just them being there, being watching my thoughts. So what's really happening is he's talking to his higher self. Father, am I supposed to do this? Are you talking yourself out of these bad thoughts? He's not looking anywhere else. He's asking the higher self, the true Father, the true originator, the true truth of you, that higher consciousness. When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing. So on the third time, he didn't even bother the apostle. Yeah, these dudes just going to sleep. I got to handle my business. Let's bring that on a physical level. How many people you working with and you're trying to get them to flow with you? And you keep going back, they sleep. Or when I mean by sleep, they doing other things opposite of what they say they want. You gotta leave them alone and keep on your mission. He kept on his mission despite his 12 road dogs was over there sleeping while he about to experience the worst thing anybody can go through. See, most people like, y'all know I'm going through something. Y'all supposed to be. He ain't start crying and complaining about that. He just went on and kept about his business. Does it sound familiar? Does what I am talking about sound familiar on how your life is going right now? You know you want big things. You did the ritual this year, the money ritual, and since you did that ritual, all kinds of nonsense done popped up and tried to throw you off course. Even if you didn't do the ritual, you did something, some type of promise to yourself, this year is going to be a better year. And soon as you said that, soon as you started moving in that direction, all kind of distractions came. Then you look around to your people that you are supposed to be supporting you. They're sleeping or they're giving you negative words that cause you to want to go to sleep. So what do? You got to remind yourself that you are the power. You are the way of your life. You are the light. You are the strength. You got to remain strong. You got to tap into what you were born with. What God gave. God gave you inspiration. He gave you dominion. And the first thing you must have dominion over is you, yourself. Control those thoughts. See, what this scripture is showing is that the thoughts are going to come. Christ had the negative thoughts. He had the doubt. See, even if Christ wasn't see, they preached to Christ as this benevolent being. He was able to do all things. Yeah, he was able to do all things with work and practice, and reminded himself of his own power. He had to pray that off of him. He had to get down and meditate. He had to say, please take this away. But if it's your will, I'll do it. He had to push through it. No, see, what I see most people doing is they get a little opposition. They go in the other direction. I ain't dealing with that. And that's why they stuck in the same position. That's why you stuck in that same job. You tried the new business. And guess what? The first distraction came your way. You ran for it. Yeah. The first distraction. And some of y'all not even getting no real opposition. The only opposition you getting, you don't want to turn off the TV. You don't want to stop watching them programs. You don't want to stop the entertainment that's slowing you down. Average movie is 100 hour and 45 minutes, like 2 hours, right? Ask yourself, what could you do other than that can you do with your time? Ask yourself. I get it. You want to feel good. You know, everybody wants that. I want it. But know what would feel better for me? When I reach that goal and I'm looking at that bank account and I don't have nowhere else, I got so many, so much money in there. I got to move it because the banks just get complaining. Hey, you got the money. Hey, what you doing? See, when you're having those types of problems, when you're getting too much money, when you can't even keep it in the bank because they might mess with it. See, that's the problems I want. See, some of y'all got problems that it's not enough in there. It's in negative, or it's almost on the verge of negative. Aren't you tired of looking at $100, $200 in your bank account? $20? I know I'm calling out numbers of some of y'all bank account. See, I can predict what you got in your. I can prophesy you on your bank account. I can prophesy on your bank account. I look at what you do. What do you spend most of your time doing? And I can tell you, you probably ain't got no more than $300-$400 in your bank account. Mm-hmm. How you know? No, I know because I know what you do. I know it. See, the reason why the bank account is low is because your effort towards your goals and the things you want is low. And the things that are taking your money away is high. See? Change that math, change that, switch that around, and guess what? The bank account will go through the roof. And some of y'all got products, just things, or y'all got going on. All you gotta do is push a button, and it'll be ready. Just sell it, and you can see some profits. But nobody, no, I can't push the button just yet because it just ain't quite right. Let me remind you this story right here. Christ had did all his preaching, helping all these people, and even he was challenged about what he was about to do. But he kept moving into it. He kept moving forward. See, the biggest challenge you got in your life right now is not anything outside of you. It's everything within you. That's your challenge. That's it. That's the one place that needs to be worked on. Let's keep going. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of the sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayers. Get ready. Your betrayers are coming. When you about to go high, they coming. If your biggest betrayer, guess who that is? You. See, Judas is not some other, Judas in the spiritual sense is not some other person outside of Christ. It's his own alter ego. Okay? So what has to happen to Judas? You have to master the betrayer. You have to master that very thing inside of you that keeps betraying all of the things that you say you want that you can't seem to get it or get right or get that payoff. You gotta kill him. He's gonna show up, and he's gonna show up with some people. He's gonna sell out. Oh, how does Judas sell out? If he's me, how does he sell out? Because you trading money for things that take away instead of add. You're putting your money into things that are consuming your money instead of profiting you. See, the money you get is supposed to be for profit. Money ain't for spending, it's for circulating. If you understand the science of that, then you will really change your financial situation. See, a lot of y'all spending money instead of circulating money. See, money is supposed to go into something and then come back out at you 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. So look at the money you're spending. What is it going into? See, whenever I circulate money, I invest it in people and things that I'm trying to bring back or multiply something. Not just here and going. See, how you just give away your money is when people come and borrow and say, hey, I'll give it to you tomorrow, and they never give it back. That's spending. So let's keep going. Jesus arrested. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, take him Judas, arrived. Judas is you, your alter ego. With him was a large crowd, and he came with friends. See, what did Judas do? He went and spoke to other people about your ideas, right? That's you. See, this is how you betray yourself. You have big ideas, and then then the Judas in you figure you're going to tell everybody about what you're doing and how you want to do this and these ideas. And guess what they do? A large crowd start to come against you to destroy your ideas and give you back. Oh, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to quit your job? You know, you got that 401k. You know, you got that benefit, because all Judas is one aspect of your mind that's looking for a reason to shut you down. And he goes and collude with other people to help shut you down for profit. See, Judas went for a profit. What is the profit? To keep you in the same way you was before, to keep you the same thing. So you could be, Judas represents your old self, the old self that kept betraying you. You knew you had more in you. You knew you wanted more, and Judas keeps coming up. You got to shut Judas down, and you got to look at Judas and say, this is what he said. He said, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him. Go at once to Jesus. Judas said, greetings, Rabbi, and kissed him. Jesus replied, do what you came for, friend. He said, do what you came for. Did you see? Judas is always going to come up and try to betray you. But you got to recognize him. No, okay, you do what you do, but I ain't going to follow you up. Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. See that reactionary nature. Peter was the temper, hot natured. We ain't going out like this. Somebody about to get hit, and that's what he did. But sometimes you can't react because reacting will be worse than would make the situation worse. Put your sword back in its place. Jesus said to him, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. What he's saying, what you put out, you will get back. Do you think I cannot call on my Father and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? See, the Christ mind knew that all he had to do was say a word and he could shut it all down right there in that moment. But no, it was a process. He had to overcome this. He couldn't take the easy way out. See, the easy way out is to retaliate and destroy. That's the easy way out. But the harder way out, the best way out, is to be able to remain in the midst of your enemies and still be at peace, knowing that everything's going to be okay. But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way? See, you can't get by the tribulation. You can't get by the opposition. You can't get by the storm. It has to happen that way to see how much you want it. Because through that experience, you can teach someone else by what you're going through. How to hold on to something, how to make something work, how to get that business to grow. It could be a relationship. How I was able to go through this storm and have all these issues, all these things I thought was impossible to deal with, I was able to deal with it. See, we are put here to go through these things so that we can teach others how to go through it and show them by example. See, we got too many people out here teaching and they ain't got no examples to show. None. None at all. Okay. Then Jesus, in that hour, Jesus said to the crowd, am I leading a rebellion that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching and you did not arrest me. But this has all taken place that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples deserted him and fled. When he needed his 12 aspects, they left. They're gone. But he still remained. He still went through it because this trial, this tribulation, whatever you got to do it by yourself. You can't do it alone. I mean, you have to do it by yourself. The end parts of it, you have to do it by yourself. And what I mean by yourself, you have to adjust your thinking. No one can get in your head and refocus you. You got to refocus yourself. You got to change it. There's no one else. You look around, mama, daddy, no. First of all, they don't even understand why you even going through that. Why are you putting yourself through that? It's easier to just let go and just leave that stuff alone. Stop talking about that Bible stuff, talking about the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You don't think people were saying that? Why are you always talking about this new kingdom? The coming of God, and why you keep talking about this? Don't you got nothing better to do? Let me put it in the real. Why are you always talking about your business? Man, you got to have balance. You're always talking about money. It's a time for those are all distractions. You better talk about your business always. Just don't talk about it with them. Talk about it in your head. Talking about it in your car when you're riding by yourself. And talk about it to the people that are really interested in hearing it. Remember how you taught his disciples, when you go to someone's door, they don't want to hear it, shake the dust off and keep it moving. Stop trying to force people to listen. I don't care who they are, your wife, husband, brothers, sisters, whatever. I don't care. Some to tell you the truth, most of the people you close to ain't going to want to hear nothing you have to say. Absolutely nothing. Only time they want to hear what you have to say is when they got a problem that they think you can fix. See, they play it off like they don't respect you and like you don't know anything. They treat you like that, but they really do respect you. They really value what you say, but they only want it when they want it. When they got a problem that they need fixing, they can't figure it out. And the first thing they think about is you. Oh, can you help me with this? And then as soon as you give them an answer, they don't want nothing else. They just want that answer, and that's it. And they off doing back to the way they were thinking and doing whatever they were doing. That's just how it is. That's the nature of it. If you're operating in the Christ mind, that's what you're going to deal with. Selfish people who, when you think about it, who came back and consoled Christ through all of this? Who did it? Do all of this? He had to do this by himself. No one came. Oh, Jesus, Christ. I understand your pain. Nobody did that. He had to do it himself. He didn't wallow in no pity. Some of y'all got on the brink of a breakthrough in your business, right at the door of it, and y'all looking for people to feel sorry for you. Instead of getting up and moving forward and suffering that pain so that you can get the reward. And the pain is not even real. It's just ideas of things going wrong that really are not going wrong because everything is always going right. Everything is putting you on a path to where you need to be. The people that walk out on you are putting you on a path on where you need to be. The people that do you wrong are putting you on the path to be with someone who won't do you wrong. Everything is putting you on the path to where you need to be. So all things work. What is that scripture? All things work for the good of the Lord. All things. That's what it means. Jesus before the Sanhedrin. Here come the accusation and the lies. I know some of y'all being lied about, right? Those who had arrested Jesus took him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the teachers of the law and the elders had assembled, all of the gurus. But Peter followed him at a distance, right up to the courtyard of the high priest. So you're going to have people just following you from a distance, just staying out of sight, just watching to see what happens. They ain't going to do nothing. He entered and sat down with the guards to see the outcome. See, I just said that. He just wanted to see the outcome. A minute ago, he was fighting. Now he's like, oh, let me see what's going on. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin. See, let me go back to that. They had a whole crowd of people with weapons and all kind of stuff. And they ran. See, when it reinforced the true nature of who your people are, your friends are, show up. So that says, stop looking for people to be in your corner. It's not going to happen most times. If you got one person in your corner, that's great. And even that person might be watching from a distance like Peter. All right? The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for false evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death. But they did not find any, though many false witnesses came forward. This is a lesson about truth. This is why you don't have to defend the truth. The truth by itself, by definition, defends itself. It doesn't have to be explained. It doesn't have to be talked about. Too many of us are trying to explain the truth. And it doesn't need to be explained. Because they spent a great deal of time trying to find false witnesses, make up stuff. What? False lies don't stand against the truth. They fall apart. You ever encountered a person who lies? They'll tell a story so many times in different ways and add stuff, take stuff away. You're like, okay, you said this before, now you're saying this. Like, because when it's not truth, it's just not gonna hold up. The truth is always consistent. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about this little side note. And that this is called this is how you detect lies. You ask for the truth, or you ask questions, and this is how lie detectors work. Lie detectors detect stress in the body. So what I'm saying is we are by nature truthful beings. By nature. That is our nature, to tell the truth. We program ourselves to tell lies. And how they recognize, most people know this already, you're telling the lie is because your stress level, because your truthful nature is fighting against you telling that lie. That's why people get irritated when you confront them to try to get them to tell the truth. They get irritated. The stress response kicks in. That's a greatest indication that there's a possible lie going on in there. See, the truth is quiet. It's calm. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's it. But lies. Oh, wait, wow, why? They say things like, "Oh, your tone is it's rude. It's this. It's that." See, see, you don't have to. Listen, people always tell you the truth, no matter if they're lying or not. They tell you the truth. You just have to understand and pay attention. That's it. Just pay attention. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. And this is what would happen with these Pharisees. They were looking for lies, and they was getting frustrated. Man, dang, we can't get nobody to get them. They one lie after another, and they couldn't hold it. It couldn't hold up. And let me go back. Where was it? False evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death, but they did not find any, though many false witnesses came forward. Finally, 2 came forward and declared, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days." Now, in a way, that was true, what he said, but the context that they tried to put in him wasn't true. Because the temple Christ was he said, I'm going to tear down, was himself. He wasn't talking about a building. See, you got to tear down the temple, your temple, that false temple that you created over the years through false beliefs and false ideas, false acceptance of what is true for you. Because most of us are living a life that was created by a narrative of something, someone, through our parents. They told you, you got to be this and this and that. You got to do all these things. And you created this false self, this false temple, this false God, this false religion. See, y'all think religion is these establishments, Catholic, Catholicism, all this other stuff. No. Religion, what is a religion? What's the definition of religion? Let's look at that. Religion. The belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods. A particular system of faith and worship. So religion is a particular system of faith and worship. Some of us are worshiping and have faith in ideas that were given to us by our parents in the institutions that we chose to participate in. That's religion. And I can tell you right now, everybody got a different religion they believe in, a different God. They think you might go to Episcopalian church or Pentecostal, Baptist, Catholicism, but everyone in those buildings got a different religion, a different idea of how they see that. And that idea is whatever they took hold to, whatever they believe in as right for them. Not the belief that they were born with, that they were God-given belief of who they really are. Because see, when you're a child, you're a baby, you know who you are. That's why babies are silent. They look at you like they know something. And you're sitting there wondering, what are you thinking? Because your egoic mind, who has been brought down and cast down like the devil, cast down to earth, That's what that's talking about. When you said, I beheld Satan, he fell like lightning to the earth. That's just a falling of your consciousness from the higher self, all knowing who you are, down to a lower self, and accepting all these doctrines and systems and ideas. This is two aspects. He said, he beheld the idea of the higher nature of yourself falling down to a lower consciousness, a lower belief system, a programmed belief system that you accepted, your religion that you accept under the guise of maybe Baptist, Catholicism, whatever, Muslim, Hindu. See, all of these physical things that they say you need to believe in are lower forms of consciousness ideas. Because the truth of you can stand outside that and you don't need it. Because all power has been given unto you through the divine mind, through God himself. He gave you all power. But you stopped believing in that power because you fell. I beheld Satan fell like lightning. Because how does lightning work? It's instantaneous. A thought is instant belief in something. Man, it's 8:05, and I ain't think I'm halfway done. Well, let me not look at this fantasy called time and keep it moving. So, let's get back to it. Then the high priest stood up and said, are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you? But Jesus remained silent. You don't have to rebut ignorance and lies, made up BS. You don't have to rebut that. I know people tell you need to rebut that. Blah, blah, blah. You don't have to rebut that. Do y'all know when I help people in cases, mainly child support, I don't rebut none of that crap they say. All I say is, you guys don't have jurisdiction because this is a religious matter. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to rebut. Say whatever you want. All I'm telling you, I am the Son of Man. I am the Christ. These are my sincerely held beliefs. And anybody who's listening, I just gave y'all a clue on how to handle your cases. Trust me. I was dealing with someone last week that was, I don't know, I'm going to go to jail. Oh my God. And I said, stop paying attention to all of these little threats on the paper and just do what I ask you to do. You ain't in jail. And funny thing is, they even reduced the amount they wanted them to pay. See, that's another little contract to see they could get him in. They went from $2,000 to $500. You $2,000, you going to jail. 500 if you don't pay the 500. See, they just want anything. And I rebut that. Y'all still stamping on my religious freedoms here. Stop it. Stop arguing with these people and tell them who you are. And then once they know who you are, they go, okay. See, until you go through what I teach you, until you experience it, you will never know what will happen. And most people, very few people, I got to commend the brother. He went through it, he held on it, and he was sending me emails. Yeah, I don't know. And tried to, and I just said, stand firm. Stand firm. But they don't, I get it. I have to have compassion and empathy because they haven't been through the walk that I've been through to see how easy it is to walk on water. See, Christ teaching you how to walk on the water of life and its trials and tribulations. This whole story is about that. How to walk even in your most difficult time, even when everything seems to be against you. See, Christ knew that these physical apparatuses that was popping up wasn't real. All he had to do was take this away from me. What is he saying? Take what away? Take the idea that this is real away and let me see past to the goal, to the end game. Then he said, you have said so. Then he said, then the high priest said, I charge you on the oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God. And this is when he answered. And this is how you should be answering. You have said so, Jesus replied. But I say to all of you, from now on, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven. He's telling them, I'm going to a higher place. You will see me. All this you doing ain't nothing. You will see. That's when he spoke, when he was speaking of his authority of who he was. I've seen so many people go in the courtrooms, and then when I tell them, they shrink back on the authority of who they really are, and they start talking about these other side issues, and then they lose. You have to go in there and speak with authority. Y'all think I'm just teaching y'all the Bible. I'm teaching y'all how to handle y'all court cases. I'm teaching you how to handle y'all debt through the Bible. How are you allowing these entities, these fictional characters, take hold of your mind and take control of you? Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, he has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look now you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? He is worthy of death. See, they want him to die because he was speaking power about himself. See, they want people to come in there. Oh, I need your help. I'm a sinner. I need y'all to help me. Pray for me. See, that's what most churches are doing. Just pray for me. Give me a blessing. Give me some of this and that. I don't want to do it myself. I want you to do it. See, but Jesus spoke his power. You have no authority here. Then they spit in his face and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, prophesy to us, Messiah, who hit you. See, then they started mocking him. See, when you come with a big idea, they're going to mock you. They're going to lie on you. They're going to strike you. Most of it's going to just be with words. Peter disowned Jesus. This is when Jesus was denied. I'm not going to read that. Let's see if we go to the next one. You know what? I'm going to save this for next week. Judas hangs himself, and I'm going to go because I'll be here for the next 3 hours if I preach on this next one. It's so much in here. So that Matthew 27, bookmark that. We will continue that next week. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave you with this. Hang on, let me get something going. Yeah. My hype music. Looking for my hype music. My background hype music. I think I gave a lot of you enough to really look at your yourselves and see where you need to make some improvements. And the only improvement you need to look at is in your thinking, how you're perceiving things, how you're doing things. Stop thinking things are too much and say, well, is that all? It only costs what, $500? See, your language, change your language about your money. $500 ain't nothing. $1,000 ain't nothing. $1 million ain't. That's good money. That ain't generational wealth. I know that's what some of y'all want. Most of y'all want that. But you got to go through your storms. You're going to have to be abandoned. You're going to have to be mocked. You're going to have to deal with all of that just to get there. And once you get there, they're going to talk about you even more. Oh, he's evil. He got money. he got all this money and he's trying to do this. Yeah, that's how they talk about all of the billionaires. Bill Gates is trying to poison everybody and all these other things. I don't know. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't care. Why am I speaking on somebody's situation that I don't even know this dude? I don't know what he's doing. I know he's a billionaire, and somehow he got that billions. He made some very good financial decisions. And I want to know what those decisions are. That's all I'm concerned with. Not with how he's trying to use it for all this other nonsense. Guess what? Because when I get to the billionaire status, and if he is trying to do something, I can do something different. I can do something for the good of everyone. See, and stop worrying about what the billionaires are doing and start mocking their money and get your money game up, and then you can take that money and do good. Stop talking about good. You do good. See, y'all looking, he should do this with his money. Stop telling people what to do with their money and get your money up and do what you need to do with the money. Work on yourself. I get emails about all these conspiracy theories out there, and maybe a lot of them are true. I don't know. But I say this. If that's for every action, there's a reaction. So if something bad going on, I'm going to just do good over here and worry about that. And help the people I can help. That's how you fix the world. Change yourself, change the world. Change yourself, you change the world. And how you change the world is because you change yourself and you start to see the world different. You start to see all the possibilities and the things that you can do once you change yourself. But if you're walking around looking at everything as that, look at that, they poison it, then all you see is the evil. Yes, is there evil? Yes, it is. But I don't have time to look at evil. I need to just look at good and work on good. You see? Pay attention to your pockets, your money. And A Lovely said, your teachings has helped me tremendously. I appreciate the walk I'm on, changing myself. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I love hearing people talking about, you know what? If I get in a conversation with someone and they're talking about saying things to me like, you know what, it's me that got to change. That is a productive conversation for me. I try to make it a point to be, you know what, it ain't their fault. It's my fault. Everything that happened over, that's mine. I own that. And once I see it that way, I can change it. Listen, all is well. That's what Falcon L55. All is well. He said, that's a fact. All is well. Everything is working in your favor. I don't care what you're going through. It's working for you. If you could just stop, slow down, don't get worried, don't hold on to the fear, and look at it for what it is, you will see the light in that situation. You will see it. And I'm telling you. I know some of these things but you don't understand. I'm going through this. Yes, I do understand. That's why I said, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and sulk and be depressed in it? That's just going to make it worse. It ain't going to change the situation. But once you change how you see the situation, guess what? You start to say, wait a minute. This is what it is. I know people who have had their children taken from them. And the ones I've known that had their children taken and they didn't take ownership of the situation and say, you know what, this is me, I got to deal with this and that. When I say taken, they got taken by the other parent, you know. They still haven't been able to get their children because they won't see where they fit into that puzzle. But the ones that sat there and say, you know what, this is me. This is something I need to change. Maybe my children got taken because there's something I need to correct in my life that would actually damage them, that needs to be fixed. And then they'll come back to me once I handle this. See, when You have a mission. When you have a calling, things get taken away from you. And some of those things don't feel good that's being taken away from you. But if you stop and see, this is taken away from me. Why is this being taken away from me? I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to. No, because that right there is the thing that's slowing you down. That right there. And with the other parent, they ain't trying to kill you. Yeah, the parent lying on you, saying all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, they do that. Because whenever you try to do something great, listen, the lower mindset, the devil mindsets, always looking to recruit people to come along with them. You saw that what happened with Jesus. Those devils, the scribes, they had to recruit people to make them lie. That's what happens. It's part of the process. It ain't gonna last. They tore him down, supposedly took his life, and he rose in 3 days. And you will rise in 3 days too. Bigger, better, and they be looking at you up and how did he survive that? How did he survive all them lies? How did he survive them spitting on him? How did he survive that? How is he still here? He took his body. So what? You can't take the spirit. You can't kill that. That's something you cannot kill. Do y'all realize? Hold on. Let me I'm drinking water now. This ain't alcohol, but I bless you, water. I love you, water. Y'all gonna give me something that say something that's so profound. I'm gonna wake y'all up because we're thinking in reverse. We're thinking backwards. Hang on. Let me take this. That was refreshing. Y'all realize your whole goal is to die? The pathway to life is death. Guess what? The movie that showed me that was this new one, Black Adam. And they said it over the pathway to life, true life, is death. So this here got to go. We're all working towards that. Now the choice is how you die. See? By showing you, hey, I came into the world, and to show you that you must die. He said, y'all believe he died for your sins. He showed you to die of your sins, to get rid of your sins by dying. And the sins is the thinking that you're not divine. That's what you're trying to kill off. And once you understand your power and who you are, then you won't be afraid to lose this. And because you're not afraid to lose this, no one's gonna take it. Because they only try to bully those who are afraid. And when they see they can't bully them, they move on. Say it again. The pathway to life is death. Death of the ego, death of all of the old ideas, death of all the nonsense that you've been taught and lied to about. That the death of the idea, of your finances can't get better. And I'll tell you one thing, it ain't gonna get better working a job. Yeah, you get some idea of, feeling okay. Whenever you trading time for a paycheck, you spinning your wheels. All right. Somebody said all facts. My CS situation went from the worst thing in my life to being my greatest awakenings, and I'm this close to being thankful for it. LOL. On this walk, you have to accept accountability for your life's experience. Yes, that's true. Very true. All right. think that's it, y'all. I think I gave y'all enough to think about. Somebody said, when will the new show start? That's a great question. I'm glad you challenged me with that question. I don't know. I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna put them on. I don't know if I'm doing them every day at 7. Impromptu. I think a lot of them are gonna be recordings, and a couple of them are gonna be lives. Man, before I go, let me take another sip. This ain't on the Bible, but I'm gonna read something to y'all. And I read this because I know there's some thieves out there that want to steal ideas. Let me pray on this. I said yes. Let's read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm just gonna read it. I'm not gonna elaborate on it, but I'm just going to read it. Hold on. Hang on. Let me go get my don't mind my purple gaming chair. But this was my daughter's chair, and my other chair looking raggedy, so I'm using a purple. Hold on. I ain't flipped the script. All right. I'm gonna read something, and it's Black's Law's Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition. Let me read something. And those of you who are listening, do not call me asking me to expound on it, because I'm not. Because you know why? I have so much going on I got to do. I ain't got time to expand on this. And I already know what I'm going to do with this. But I'm going to read this. And the word I'm going to talk about is, y'all better record this show. Y'all need to come back to this show. Because I talked a lot in the beginning about the Bible and the mind, but now I'm about to teach y'all something that gonna floor you. And this little definition is showing you why none of y'all are winning y'all foreclosures. And it's all off this one word. And the word is, drum roll, I suggest y'all sit down, homestead. This is why I tell you, it be right in y'all face. And y'all, because you're so blinded by these gurus telling y'all all of these theoretical nonsense, y'all can't go back. That's why you got to study yourself. Now, I was looking for something else. I was looking for something I read in the Bible to see if it was in the Black's Law Dictionary, and I came on, and this showed up. So I was supposed to find this. Oh, wow. The camera's starting to act up. Oh, look, my internet freezing. Ooh. They know I'm on to them. Let me remove some stuff here. Wow, look at this. It's freezing. Yo. Let me see. Ancestors, could y'all take care of my internet? God, take care of my internet and get it working, please, so I can read this definition. That AI is serious, y'all. Ancestors, let me get through it. Okay. Homestead, the home, the house, said the home, the house, and the adjoining land where the head of the family dwells. The home farm, the fixed residence of the head of the family with the land and the buildings surrounding the main house. And then it has a bunch of case law, right? A bunch of cases. Technically, and under the modern homestead laws, an artificial estate in the land devised to protect the possessions and enjoyment of the owner against the claims of his creditors. I'm stopping right there. Stopping. I'm stopping. I'm not even going to spend. I'm about to break that down. Listen to what I said. Because see, as soon as I start talking my camera went out, it started freezing up. So ancestors said, that's enough. All right, y'all. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. Peace.